was a bit rainy, though the sun was still up. It was hanging low, casting long, dark shadows. While they knew it would become dark soon, they decided to cross the fields anyway. Walking around it would take them hours, which they didn't have. All four of them were already getting cold, and their breathing was getting shallower with every hour they were walking. They had to find cover fast, and the only lights around were appearing to be a 5 kilometers distance away. That would be an hour walk. Doable, so they thought. Now we don't know exactly what happened here, but being wet and extremely cold is not such a good combination. Being from California, where the sun always shines, they were not used to such extreme weathers. Neither were they dressed to it. Looking left and right, they kept walking onwards. The grass getting taller with every 10 meters, bushes creeping up all the while, until they were completely covered and couldn't see the lights anymore. At these times, John's Boy Scout skills came in handy. With his compass, he guided them through the rough bushes that scratched their arms and faces every now and then. It was okay. A nice and warm home was waiting for them soon, so what else, you know? Whoever lived there would surely take them in, right? Maybe even make them a cup of tea? Maybe with milk? An hour passed by. Still no sight of any lights. Just utter darkness that had slowly settled in. Thomas had turned on the flashlight on his mobile phone. It was their last mobile, as the others had had those crappy old phones that lasting more than half a day without charging. No signal, of course. In such godforsaken places, there's never a signal, is there? So walking onwards would be the only plan they had. As their torch was shrinking, they were hoping badly for a way out of this fucking labyrinth. But no. Another hour passed by. It was getting colder and they were becoming more and more frustrated. At last, Thomas' phone died. It was their last, you know. They would be walking in the dark now, guided by the moonlight, which they could now see every now and then through the bushes. Fuck, Marilyn screamed. How long is this gonna take? But neither of them knew, of course, so they were sure. They were so sure about their direction before, but now... Just keep on going then, you know, and they kept on walking. Shh. You hear that? Everyone was looking at Thomas. Hearing what? There was nothing to hear. Wait. Shit, yeah. A distant sound of rattling foliage was definitely audible, coming close rapidly. They stood still, quiet as nil to the ground. What was going on? The sound was closing in fast, and a loud all four of them jumped up in the air, shouted so loudly that they'd probably been heard in Babylon, clamped each other's hair hard and not letting go. A few seconds passed. The dog kept barking loudly, but enthusiastically. Eva was the first one to let go. Look, it's actually happy to see us. It's a fucking nightmare dog, Thomas grunted. Scared the shit out of me. Patting it and calling it cozy names, Eva was suddenly feeling a little bit more relaxed, you know. Calming down, in fact, and in the presence of this friendly dog, actually feeling a bit more safe. With the dog following them, they moved on forward, suddenly boosted with renewed energy. They increased their tempo as the dog led the way. As another 5 minutes passed, the dog, having led all the way, suddenly came to a stop and was roaring. What the actual fuck? Staring in the darkness, they were trying to follow his eye, but couldn't see anything. Then it went for it, ran into the darkness of the head-lying bushes. What felt like an eternity, and probably just was like 10 seconds passed before they heard two distinct roars. Some squealing noises, followed by the squealing sound of a slaughtered pig. Then, silence. Silencia de la muerta. Then one loud church bell went off. And just then, loud sounds. Bushes bristling, footsteps, heavy breathing, a voice and arms sticking out, a face appearing from out of the darkness. I found you! I found you! A middle-aged man is staring them down. panting. I saw a look on his face. Don't just stand there. You hear the bells, didn't you? The bells? Forget it. Just follow me quickly. We gotta get you to safe grounds. Whoa! What do the bells mean? John asks. The bells mean that we better get to a safe place. Now follow me. And with that, the man turned and started making his way down through the forest and grass and corn with a pace unexpectedly quick for a man his age. Where are you taking us? Ava wanted to ask, but the man just kept on going. After what they had just heard, they are both skeptical, but a guide in the darkness is not unwelcome, so they follow him. No words are exchanged for another 20 minutes, but then they reach an open field, not unlike a football field. Within the middle, a small hut. Wait a minute, the man said. After literally a minute, he comes out and hands them fresh, though not so fancy clothes. You can change over there, pointing at that small cabin bordering the house. There's a fire inside and tea. Come inside when you're done. After changing, they drop in one by one. Thomas is the first. He's amazed. The inside looks so much bigger than the outside. It is a cozy place. Not too tidy, but everything seems clean. He sees the dog basket in the corner, empty. As Eva enters, she brings with her some cold air while opening and closing the front door. But otherwise it is nice and warm inside. There's a fire indeed, burning brightly, lighting the walls with a flickering, almost playful light, giving the room an atmosphere of bustling a cafe. Another breath of cold air comes in as Thomas enters, enthusiastically throwing himself in one of the chairs near the fireplace, just when the man comes in with a plate of cups and a kettle with hot water. Oh, is that a welcoming treat after all that happened? They are soon to forget everything now that they are in the warm, safe environment. Gather around the fire and warm yourself. It was a mistake to be outside. The winter is almost peaking and the cold can wear you down quickly if you don't find cover from it. As Jonah asks how he found them, the man replies, I saw flashing lights in the field. At a certain point they stopped, but I went looking for you, as flashing lights can mean only one thing. My dog led the way, although I think he went his own way, like always. Como siempre. They look at each other. Thomas scrapes his throat as he'll be the one delivering the bad news about the dog to the man. I'm terribly sorry, says Eva, as the man almost collapses. He seems very serious. He was my only friend. It can get pretty lonely around here, you know. We're quite near the village, but it's only a small village. Very small indeed. Everything around here seems to fucking die. That's why I went for you. It's not safe around here. I know my ways, but it's not. Merlin! Suddenly Thomas rushes out the house to go and look for Merlin, who should have already been inside by then. Merlin! Merlin! As he is shouting her name, he hears something bristling in the bushes, fast and distant, but nonetheless very audible. He runs after it, runs and runs as he hears the sound coming closer. In the distance he sees a large dark outline of something that's moving unhumanly fast, further away from him. As he tries to make out he is suddenly dragged backwards, hard, with full force. A hand pulls him back. Are you insane? The old man has gotten a hold of him, dragging him back towards the house. Under a loud protest of Thomas, he shouts to his friends that Merlin is taken away. But what the? Merlin is just in the room. What's going on here? You should not go out to the bushes anytime right now, the man says. Tell me what the fuck I just witnessed. The man is silent. They call them. As he is about to speak, we hear again the church bell. Distantly, but still loud and clear. We call them sheep skidders. It started about 4 months ago when we found out our cattle was drinking every night, leaving bloodstains on the grass but no further trail of anything. It took us a while to figure out they were hiding out here in the foliage fields, but no one has ever seen them. Of course, we started doing stakeouts at night, but they just wouldn't show up on those nights. Then one night, about 3 weeks ago, they took even one of our stakeout guys. That's when things started getting serious. No one and nothing is safe anymore. Ever since then, the church bells rings when it gets getting darker, and the church bell rings when someone or something has gone missing. They were looking at each other. The church bells had rang twice that night. So what the fuck do? We just wait? Yes, we just wait for the sun to rise. So they did, sipping away on their tea, getting more and more comfortable in the stream of warmth, making the body float like a butterfly dreaming in full sunlight. Light coming down the sky upon earth that warms us all, giving a real nice, warm sensation. Fire! 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 From the fireplace is rapidly spreading through the room. Thomas gets up really quickly. They all jump up, trying to save the house by hailing water from over the fire. It doesn't seem to help, but when realizing that, they hear glass shatter all over the floor from behind them. They watch it, and then a cackling sound from outside is giving them chills as all over. As the fire rapidly takes over, they are forced to go outside. Thomas is the first to go. As he looks right, left, he steps outside. While Eva steps outside, she sees Thomas rapidly falling over. Well, a dark creature standing over him, dragging him into the bushes. She runs after him, followed by John, then Merlin, and finally the man. But the man stays behind. He wants to save his house from the fire. Give it one last try. Pour water or shut the doors, drain the fire from oxygen maybe. He has lost so much already. Eva, John and Merlin run after Thomas, who is screaming loudly to make his presence aware, or at least they hope so. Branches slash against their faces and other parts of uncovered skin, then all over. Then, all of a sudden, it is quiet. They cannot hear where the sound is coming from anymore. So they slow down, coming to a stop in a small but significant open space, a hole in the ground. Will it be gone inside there? Having dragged Thomas with him? As they slowly approach the hole, coming closer, the stinking smell takes over, almost making them puke, holding their hands over their mouth as they come closer and closer. Wham! Merlin falls over, being taken by another creature. Wham! John is taken down as well. What the fuck's happening? Bodies are dragged opposite ways as Eva tries to decide which way to follow. Her time ran out. She is standing alone in the middle of that small, open space. That gaping hole in the ground, the smell of rotting flesh. There she stands as if nailed to the ground, listening. Silently. Scared. At last she sinks to the ground on her knees. Sobbing. And then there is it. There it is again. The sound of church bells.